Hopefully everyone had a wonderful day. Remember, it is Friday. Today is not the day to give back all your hard work. Or if you've had a tough week, today's not the day to try to make it all up, right? Today's just another day, and there will always be another trading day. Okay, so especially with Friday and going into a long weekend, whether you're superstitious or not with Friday the 13th and everything, maybe, some spooky stuff's going to happen. But going into a long weekend, we probably will see some readjustments. But, we'll just kind of have to wait and see, because it is going into a long weekend. People might have already been adjusted yesterday with the huge range and then taking a 4 day. They're like, you know what, I'm not going to work tomorrow either. Fuck that. Right? They're like, hey, Billy, you're on tomorrow. So there could be some younger traders on the desks today doing a little market making, and we might see, you could see a little bit of a little bit of volatility as well. So we'll just have to kind of wait and see. I really think that the key here is going to be our sectors box. If we get green sectors off the bat, we should see some continuation to the upside, right? We can assume the tick's going to open up low. We can assume the breadth is going to be very negative. I mean, you can see we're opening 40 point, I call it a Peter gap, 40 point Peter gap. And if you don't know Peter Resnicek over at Shadow Trader. Morning, Dad. Morning, Roach. Yeah, I know the British lingo. Yeah, I'm pretty familiar with British lingo because I watch a lot of British TV. Morning, Tommy. Morning, Pop. Morning, John.
I saw Mary Poppins.
Was that English? I thought it was American.
You saw her while you were driving to work? What?
British accents. It's filmed in England.
Oh, I thought it was
Oh.
just like a bunch of pretentious ass people talking like that, like rich people talk. That's what I thought that was.
Is Tommy on the call? Oh, there he is. Yeah, Tommy's on it. You can pipe in and have a few comments about that.
Yeah, Tommy, you like that movie? Is that one of your go-tos as a kid?
Spoonful of sugar, baby.
But yeah, I mean, I really think if we get sectors green, there might be a buy even with a big negative tick. There might be a little bit of responsive short covering. I think we may see the downside first, like it might open and then push down as everyone tries to get heavy. But if we don't see a break of this low here, or even a break, I mean, even if we do break this low, but don't break this low, it's like, there's that opportunity there. But you're just gonna have to be patient and wait. I don't know how quick I'll be getting into a trade today just on this big gap right here, unless we see, exactly what we need to see. And I mean, I'm watching, right, to see if we can find it, but it'll be a little bit interesting. And yesterday's poor high, remember, we do have a weak reference above, so we have multiple poor highs with the Globex session, but this is kind of what we have been dealing with in this area, right? I mean, yesterday we finally got that continuation to the upside, and then it just kind of fell apart.
90 seconds. If you want to play
Do we have
Reveille,
the
you
whole
gotta.
profile graphic in there?
All right, we're ready. What the fuck's going on? Straight up, right off the open. Wait to see if we get some selling. It doesn't look like it. Breath opens up fairly negative, but tech is going quick. Get sucked into the volatility, guys. Just be patient. Consumer sentiment right after, yeah. Good call. You haven't seen it, Tommy? That's funny. What would be our next level up if they do get this high here, which they are struggling a bit, but they're trying to go. Would be this weak spot here at 39.79. All of our sector boxes are green, but we're starting to see tech kind of struggle here. But then it just jumped up quick as soon as I said that. Tick is coming up. It's back above 1,000. We're still only in an 8-point range, guys. So there's not really anything crazy going on. You know, you're just seeing a lot of volatility. So remember, control your emotions. Don't get dragged into couple points up, couple points down, right? That's one thing that I hear a lot. It's like, oh, it just crashed, and it's like it went down 2 points. Okay, like it didn't go anywhere. 2 points is nowhere, especially with a range from yesterday of 61 points. And remember, just like Foam said, we have what's it called? Consumer sentiment. So that should be a decent. Should be a decent reaction, I'm sure, just because of how much volatility is in the market right now. I got that song stuck in my head. Beautiful day. Look at the tick is getting pinned below 1,000 now. So with a tick pinned below 1,000, we're kind of seeing the reverse. A break below the open might be a go with situation. But if they can't break the open, look, they didn't break the open there. So if they can't break the open, there's a sign of weakness again. Tick's coming back up. Our weighted ADs just, it has to wait for its first 5 minutes. So 2 more minutes until it gives us a print, really. We're right in the center. We're at an 8-point range, guys. Tesla gap down. Well, I guess they opened up in the lows, but They gap down from their CME as well. Financials looks like shit. Hmm. Who likes those Wells Fargos? My guy. Who was trading those options with me? Let's see. Fuck it. This guy's name. Everyone has a different name in Wildo. You guys remember those Wells Fargo's calls that we sold on, I think it was Monday or Tuesday? They were sitting up yesterday around like, 10%, maybe barely. Perfect play into bank earnings. Banks got smashed. They are up 81%. So we did nothing for that. We just put it on. It never went into the red. And now today we're up 82% on whatever our initial investment was, right? Plus the premium that we already collected. So I'm going to go ahead and probably close it out. Coming back down to the open here. I wouldn't mind seeing the market break down into today, to be honest with you. But you could probably even roll those. I'm not gonna. All right. Sorry. Wells Fargo position is closed for 82% gain. And remember, those were February options, but because they've gone up 82% in just the 5 days since we've had them, there's no point to hold on to them. You know what I mean? They could go up to the full 100%, but remember when we're selling credit, there's only we have a max amount of gain that we can get. And so when we get 81% of that, don't be a fucking, don't, what Roach says, Roach's dad says. So look at the right here. The NYSE AD is at 1500. If we get a Nasdaq AD close to that 1500 and even like 2000, that's gonna be a no buying zone. Don't even try to fade the market. If I mean, like right now, like I it's tough for me to try to get long with a weighted with a NYSE AD looking like this, right? Unless we start to see tech really strong. But the Nasdaq tick is actually I'm back. Look at the tick Q. They're coming back down now. That's like this. So Nasdaq had a rally right up to its VWAP and then has come all the way back down as well. The interesting thing is, like, if you were to look at this, like just on a 30-minute chart, let's say, 30 days, 30 minutes, let's maximize this sell real quick. I mean, you're really just kind of pulling back to the trend here, especially if you get rid of the overnight hours, which, I mean, it's not that necessary, but you can kind of see where it's pulling back to the trend here. And then we have, you know, our previous balance here below. So it's interesting, getting a little strong here, starting to see all the sectors, and look how strong tech just went. Nasdaq's back at its VWAP. If the tick goes positive, we should trade to the top of this U, which is the 79. But you can see the weighted AD is still struggling a bit. Tech was up at like 23, and it kind of got a little bit weak up at the top as you started to see a little bit of selling come in. You know what I meant, Roach, right?
Yeah, I know this.
Yeah.
Hey, is Monday a holiday
Yeah.
gonna affect them? Will it affect the market? Is it closed or something?
Shouldn't be open. Yeah, it should be closed. I mean, Globex will probably still be open. Globex will open at like
Yeah,
6, and then it'll close at 9:30, and then it'll probably open again at 6.
yeah. So it'll be no trade. Thanks.
Yeah. So one more look back at the open. You're starting to see some volume come down. So you're seeing some initiation from some of the sellers that were up higher coming down around the 70, but they still kind of struggled at the open, or to try to push this back below the open, but they're not doing a bad job yet. They're trying. There they go. Jesus, that's it. Some sellers are stuck on the 66 there. Tech has gone back to red. And look, it might be it flips back. Last time it was up here, it was up at 20. So if tech starts to really get some gas right here, they could take this high. But if it doesn't get gas, then, you know, obviously the fade And the Nasdaq looks a little bit weaker this time up here than it did last time we were up here. So you're seeing how fast it just came back down. Very volatile. Very volatile. I mean, but for the most part, like we're still in a 10-point range here. You see a little bit more red here, but the tick is still creeping up a little bit. You wonder what they're doing. They're someone's setting up a trap to get some liquidity. So just be careful. Yeah, news in 10 minutes. Nasdaq's still not really on board yet, but it is trying here. We can get this continuation. There we go. We should trade up to the 79. X climbing. Oh, so close. Come on. Oh, yeah, 79. We traded it. All right. Profit takers right in front. We might get a little bit more, a little bit more pusher here. Seeing the weighted AD click positive, seeing the tick get over 0. We just traded back up to the VWAP. Nasdaq's still struggling a little bit. Now the ES is kind of leading back to its VWAP. The Dow is actually leading. Dow looks really strong. Yeah, the Dow is really strong. Nasdaq kind of sitting middle range here, struggling. Hey guys, and this weekend I'm gonna help my dad set up toss. So if any of you guys want to jump on, I'll post it in the Discord. So you guys have the opportunity to jump in with us and ask questions if you want to.
What are you setting up?
Thinkorswim.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So for like, if you don't have Thinkorswim set up, or if you want to see like the way that I have my Thinkorswim set up, like all the other screens that I have, not just this 3 box right here, and go over all that stuff too. Watch tech here. Tech is still struggling, guys, comparatively. Tech never got, or the Nasdaq never got back up to its VWAP. I don't have a position on right now either. In case you're wondering. Look at tech. Tech just went. There it goes. Tech's going. Nasdaq's up above its VWAP here. Hello? Hi. Sounds good. Bye. All right, 11 minutes. This thing just keep rallying. Damn. Kind of sad that I closed my fucking wall. 74. The reason I like this area is because we've seen kind of some rejection in this area before, right? We've got a real thin spot right here, and we have the base of that spike from T2, so kind of assuming that we might get a little bit of resistance somewhere in here, which is why I closed my trade out early like a little bitch. But
You don't think that, so where are the single prints isn't from Globex? Isn't that the 80?
yeah, these are
6 out?
yeah, these are single prints from Globex
So
right here.
it could be that it's just coming back to fill those single prints and then moving on. And then moving back down.
Yeah, it could be, but it's not looking good, because all of our sectors have gone green. Our weighted AD has gone green. Our tick's already back above 0. It's definitely still possible, but with these we have trap shorts now, and you can see where their stops got taken, which is right here at that 79, which was kind of our target. And I closed early like a little bitch, but and so unless they can get back below that 79, that's kind of our key to see how this acts. If it trades straight through it, then we know that that's the business has been done. The transactions are complete. If it bounces from here, we know there's still shorts trapped, and there's probably some more upside left in. And if you're looking to fade, you've still got to be waiting. But I mean, like I said, all these sectors are pretty. I mean, these are bright green. Healthcare is almost up 1%. The tick is really the only thing putting you off at this point, but we did open on a very low tick. The weight, the breadth has been kind of cut in half. We're seeing the NYSE and the Nasdaq come off of that 1500 down that we talked about. So, and then we've got news in 10 minutes, and that should give us, kind of what we need, or 7 minutes. That should give us what we really need. So, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a little 2-minute break here and let the market kind of just figure itself out. There's a lot of liquidity up at 90, and then we've got 3,900 right above. We have that Pora reference up above. And I mean, this is within our plan, right? We had talked about this. If there was an open that couldn't break the Globex low or couldn't break the previous day's low, then we wanted to buy it. So we don't want to all of a sudden get bearish just because market's gone up so much. We're like, it's got to come back. Yes, Globex was awful, right? We're short-term creatures of habit, but as risk managers, we always maintain perspective. And so there's nothing telling us to get in front of this train that's moving up right now. If anything, there's signs saying like, you know, fucking all aboard. All right, get your fucking tickets before they run out. But just wait 7 minutes to buy your ticket because you might buy the wrong train. Or 6 minutes now. Sellers are stuck here on the 82. They're getting stuck. I mean, it might not be fully stuck yet, but they're trying their hardest to get stuck. There we go. Thank you for yours. Thank you for... This thing keep cutting out, bro. All the fuck. Back to 82 here. 77 contracts traded on that high tick. Did they trade the 85? Yeah. Okay, so they traded 85 exact. 3 minutes until consumer sentiment. Why is not working? Oh, this is that. This is actually a downtrend line on the daily. That's what that trend line is. So you can see, remember we talked about this, we were wondering, is it going to be broken by time, which would just mean the market trades sideways here and continues to balance up, or do we trade back below it? While we have this chart up and the market's just kind of getting ready to pop up anyways, or we talked about the train and everything, and then we've got news in 2 minutes, but if like a good sign of a strong market to keep breaking is when it moves up into balance and then continues the trend, especially before a long-term trend. So if this market like finishes up here today, I think on Monday or Tuesday you might get a little gap above this, right? And we've talked about like how we've talked about previous on how it's it's hard to get through some of these levels, right, for the buyers and stuff, and that's why they gap them, right? And that's where that gap is at here. And so it makes sense for them to try to, you know, continue to do that, to try to skip these levels. I mean, at some point they're going to have to be revisited. Typically, all the gaps, like in the SPY and the ES and the SPX and like all the indexes. Oh, there goes B. 105 on the top. Ooh. Rampage. Remember, we don't really care about the number. We care about where it impulsed from, and that was from about 82. I mean, 82 to 84 is pretty much where it impulsed from. So we jumped up above the T2 high, and what do we see? Responsive selling. I think the market's going to roll over. Careful, guys, if you're long. I think our ticket, I mean, I don't know. It's so hard to go against like the tick and everything else, but well, the Nasdaq actually is pumping. Here we go. Maybe. The Nasdaq just looks a lot weaker, and I feel like to get like the real upside going, we need the Nasdaq to kind of lead the charge. And we're just not seeing that yet. So, but I mean, sellers are still stuck, right? We talked about this, where the sellers are stuck at. This was an A period. They never got back below that level. They really just kept getting stuck at 82, and then the news came out. Still very volatile, and I don't know if this is really the best spot to get into a trade yet. I have a sneaky suspicion that the market wants to roll over, just because of how mechanical that B low is. But, you know, nothing is saying that it's gonna, so I'm not just gonna close my eyes and be like, yeah, I think it's gonna roll over, so I'm gonna short. You know what I mean? Because also notice the tick, like, notice how high the tick isn't going right now. And like I said, Nasdaq just starting to try to get going here. The Nasdaq is, but I don't know. Maybe I'm just being a little bitch. What do you guys think? This thing on?
Yeah, I gotcha.
What are you guys thinking about the market right now? Let's hear some of you guys. Get some thoughts provoking.
I'm suffering in silence, licking my wounds.
Are you trying to trade some volatility?
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, I was. And every time it looked like it might roll over, I got in a short. So I'm down to 21 points right now. Yeah. So I got to reevaluate for a second, catch my breath.
And see, the thing is I think you might be right, but it just you might have to just wait for the right time.
Yeah.
Like, you got to let buyers, like, to me, it just looks like buying is weak, right? But you got to let them get exhausted first before you smash them with the hammer. You know, they're going to be a lot easier to catch once they're a little bit slower.
I was letting my ego get to me. I've had a great week. I've had positive days every day. And I've been down a lot of days before rallying back, but I'm not going to let it get to me.
There's nothing wrong with that either. Like, I know, I think a lot of people, I think that does affect a lot of people. Like, and we've talked about it, how, like, if they get a winning trade, they're so afraid on their next trade because they don't want to have a red day. But really, if you don't focus on that, because you shouldn't be focusing on your P&L. Like I always tell you guys, like, I don't even have my P&L up. The only thing I see is the strip that shows where I'm at in the position. So just the trade itself. But I'm writing down all my trades, and then that's how I track my P&L.
Yeah, I normally do too. Yeah.
Yeah, and if you just don't pay attention to it, you can go down, go up. You know, as long as you're focusing on making good trades, that's really the key.
Yeah. And I'm kicking myself because I did something that I try not to do is I averaged in because I was like, I swear I think this is going. I think this is coming back. And so another lesson that I have to teach myself at least, once a week.
Sellers got stuck again on 82, 83 right here. Damn, you wonder if shorts are just gonna keep getting stuck short. Fucking poor bastards. No offense, Pop.
No,
But, like-
I'm one of those fucking poor bastards.
Nasdaq's really starting to go too, so this thing might go. Let's see if we can establish inside yesterday's value, right? So we're coming inside yesterday's value. Typically, if we get two TPO prints within inside yesterday's value, there's good odds of trading back to yesterday's point of control, which is at 4,000. So, I mean, I would say the odds are pretty decent there anyways. I'm really glad I closed those positions. Even though Wells Fargo might keep going down, they're a piece of shit company too. Those Amazon plays are up 90%. Those might need to get closed. Everyone's are up 30%. I'm gonna hold those. Energy earnings are the last week of earnings, so. Weighted AD's making higher highs here. That's a signal of strength. Where's the VIX at? VIX is getting hammered too. VIX is on the low. Dollar's coming down a little bit. Bonds are at yesterday's low. Failure to get acceptance inside yesterday's value would probably target that 78. If they fail to get accepted up here above this previous day's half back, basically we'll just call it around that area. The sellers will probably target here, but you're starting to see, like I said, you're starting to see a little bit of strength come in, starting to fade a little bit here. 134 is not, if you compare it to yesterday's high when we were getting some good upside, 300s. So, but so far everything except energy and utilities is holding green, but the tick looks like shit. $5.30. And we're still within this bar here too. So this news bar here, this is nice to have the 1 minute up when you get to see this news bar. So the high being 39.92, the low being 39.75. So there's kind of your key right there, which is, the mechanical B low. If this B low doesn't break, even if C opens up and trades all the way down here and they don't break the B low, well, that's a buy, right? Because what's going to happen is, as long as we don't see the market fall apart, right? We might be short before it gets down there, so it might be a hard trade just to flip-flop over to if it doesn't go. But we know we've got these trapped shorts here. So if they trade through the B low, all of those shorts are finally like, I was right, and they close their profit in green instead of closing their profit for a break even. and this thing gets this, gets a pop off of the VPOC, it's gonna just keep running up because you'll have momentum. I don't know how high it will bounce off of there, but it should catch a bounce off of there, probably back to the center. But really, until you get out of this range, this basically this B high and B low, you can't really make any decisive decisions, and you can just kind of assume the market's going to be contained inside of that B range until it's not. Nasdaq looking, I mean, it's holding up, to be honest. It doesn't look bad. There's really, I mean, not much to do in here. I try to look for some stocks for next week, but I don't really want to open up any positions right before a long weekend anyways, so. Buyers are stepping up here, trying on the 39.90. Buyers are trying again here. See if the Nasdaq tries to go. Nasdaq's a little bit weaker here. There we go. There's the Nasdaq push. Nice. So we've got about 15 minutes until C period opens up, and I mean we're already almost trading to the Globex TPOC. So if C period opens up, we're going to not only open up with singles, but we're also going to open up with 2 TPOs inside previous day's value, and a lot of times that gives us decent odds of trading back to that point of control, which is about 4,000. Of course, there's going to be opportunity up here as well, I think. Like right,
Sellers on that 93 quarter.
yeah, I don't know what that's about. That's I think that's profit taking. I don't know what that is,
Yeah.
and I don't know why there either. I was seeing that. I'm like, what the fuck are you guys doing? Hang on, let me try to narrow this zone down a little bit better here.
I agree. Looks like profit taking right at that first VWAP deviation.
Change this one to green because we watched all the we watched all the sellers get trapped at the 82, 83. So they'll probably buy it again if it comes back. And an interesting thing about today's profile too is this weak spot down here. So you remember, like I said, we got to remember this spot. There's weak references all down this B period. So if C period comes down, even if it closes the singles, that doesn't mean we're gonna just flip short, right? This area here is where shorts are kind of trapped. What's interesting though is you're not seeing volume kind of follow yet, right? You would assume that, I mean, A period, most volume 6,000. We didn't even get half that. We got about half that right here with where 2 periods trade. And we traded this area for days and volume didn't come up. So, you know, you wonder what these fucking buyers are doing with their lives. Like, and it may be that kind of day. A low volume day is a lot of times typically an indication that, you know, there's not a lot of people playing the market, and it's easy to run the market one way or another if everyone's on the same side. And if these market makers are all trying to run the market up, you know. $200 moving average is at 39.81 on the SPX. The SPX is at 39.71 right now, so it's about 20 points below. So that would mean, hold up, yes. Okay. See, it just shows at 39.71. That's weird. Didn't we have the fucking 200 moving average on here? That would explain all the volume that came in right there. So I wonder if that's the target here, 39.71. That's a 200 moving average. Let's do this real quick. I mean, look where all that volume comes in, right on the 200 daily. It's funny. But the thing to notice about it is, like, the size of it, right? It's like it's just such a light day right now that you kind of have to assume that I mean basically this upside hasn't had no power behind it according to the tick, right? But there also hasn't been much pushback because I mean since about 9:45 the lowest tick was 356 and for the most part you're just right around that zero line, but we've moved up in price, so it hasn't taken very strong buying to keep moving the market up, basically letting us know if the tick continues stronger the market should continue higher. We've got that 38% retracement right there at the 4001 as well. I mean, it's just such a mechanical level, or like such like a easy to see reference. 4,000. Like you almost feel like there's people that are buying right here that are just like this thing's going to 4,000 for sure. Like it just has to. You know what I mean? And they're fucking. You know, I don't know if they're wrong or right, but doesn't look like the best spot to get in a position. I feel like position at least. This fucking one tick increment is a pain in the ass on these big days. I might close the Amazons too. They're up 93%. Yeah. Probably could have let these Amazons expire to be honest, but didn't. So well, actually, I haven't got filled yet. So. There it goes. Look at the tick getting strong. All right, watch that 93. That was that big area before. 92, 93. If this thing does pull back to that area, you might see some more sellers jump on board. But as of right now, buyers, you know, they've got them on the ropes here, and they're still trying to be aggressive. Nice. How extended this thing is. Crazy. Off a mechanical reference? Guys, we're going to have an opportunity today. I feel like late in the day. So C period's opening up in 6 minutes. We're almost already back to the point of control at this point, though. You see right where they built volume at that 88 level. Bam. There they go, turning it back. Hey, these are the times where it's like, wish we could just give Jim Dalton a ring. Like, what do you think about that B low? Like, I want to know what you're thinking about it, or even did you notice it? Like, because that's what I'm thinking. Like, are we paying attention to this B low for no reason? I mean, the market looks strong, right? So we know sellers are weak. The only thing that's really just, that kind of tells me I've got to be quick in my positions, and I've only taken longs today, but I've just been in and out for the most part and not caught this fucking trend because it just seems like volume is not following it. And we know that, volume is the measure of acceptance or failure, right? So I feel like even though it's going up, it's like failing. So it's really hard for me to put on anything and stick into it, which is why I really haven't been saying anything about the trades I'm getting into, because they're not really, they're in and out. There's not really time to give you the details, really. I kind of want to change it back to 2 ticks. I hate this thing. Where's Jared's lazy ass at?
I think 97 is a key level here that buyers are gonna have to get above. Trying to right now.
They just flipped books. So those sellers are gone. It's about to go.
Yeah.
All the offers at 4,000 though are not that heavy. That's the thing I'm thinking. Like there's not like a ton of heavy liquidity up above, right? Like, a lot of times when you're about to see short covering continue, you see like a lot of liquidity stacked up and stuff. And we're not really, you're seeing 302 up there, but I'm just not seeing the conviction. But we're not seeing any selling either, so that's why I think maybe later in the day we might get some opportunity. But look at the breadth. Breadth's almost back to green. The nicey breadth here, Nasdaq breadth. Tick could not go back below. I think I'm back. All right, here we go.
Shit ton of singles.
Yeah, shit ton. There's no lie. 7 contracts on the high tick. Failure to take that would just be, you know, pathetic. Seller's trying to get aggressive here at the 97, right? Where Roach is saying they're really trying to flush this 97 here. I think that's where they got stuck, and you got that little pop. We only got 34 contracts straight on the high, and buyers got stuck on the 4,000 there. Sellers are still consistently moving down here. They went from like 4,000 to fucking 39.99, then to 97, 95. They got stuck on 93.92 originally, so that's probably their target here. Short covering there on the 94. And you can see the thin spots, another thin spot down here, like right above that 92. That's what, and this is right where those sellers got trapped. They got trapped like 2 times. It's kind of funny. I really wish I would have held that 82 long. Let's see. Can hear you now? Okay, thanks. Yeah, my internet just dropped for a second. I sent Jared a text that said, your computer's calling you and telling you it's an hour past open. And he said, what are they saying? And I said, why is my master a lazy piece of shit? So see, the bids get pulled right there and the market can't go down. So this pullback may just be to find a little bit more liquidity because there was no bids below, but yet the market all just kind of stopped in its tracks right there. Right on the 92. So that's short covering. Never mind. Ignore me. More short covering on the same 92 right there. So right here, you're seeing the short covering on the 92, 93 area, right? If they can't push price below that level, then you know just how weak the shorts are. Now, if we get pushed below that level, then we can, assume that, maybe some liquidation from some longs to kind of clear up, uh, those sellers that were stuck down at the 82, 83, which is where we had our box at, which is kind of like, where I'd like to get filled at again. It'd be nice. And play against these shorts that are stuck farther down, because we have a gigantic range now. Well, what seems like gigantic, but it's really not. 35 points. Study. What the f is that? A lot of selling right there. It was sneaky selling on the 95, 93. It was like 94. Yeah, 94.50 all the way to 93. Weird. Poor Jared. Well, that's what you get
That's
when
like the
when you want like my advice or like me to like coach you. I like to teach, but I'm not like the best like accountability partner, because like I'm like in your shit. You know what I mean? I'm like, where's your fucking report at? Like, what the fuck are you doing? Did you read a book today? Like, what the fuck's wrong with you? A lot of fucks, and so like some people just
Yeah.
don't. They don't enjoy it.
I was saying that's like the third or maybe the fourth time I've seen it today where the sellers are just sweeping the book, like just slamming it down. They're not getting follow through, but they're like just slam it down and then sit. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
When they come in hard.
I just changed it back to 2 ticks. I like it better like this. You guys could keep yours on 1 tick, but I keep mine on 2. And if we really need to see weak spots, we can still see them fine. So
I hate when people are late. I fucking go nuts. Not Jared. Jared is someone else.
yeah,
Up to him, but I'm saying like if I'm meeting somebody or something, I fucking hate them being late.
I'm the same way. I hate being late.
Yeah, me too.
You know
I'm
what I
always
mean?
early though. Well, I'm usually,
I'm the same way. Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I hate being late, and I especially hate late when they're always late. Like when it's like the fucker's gonna be late.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's my
like-
little. That's my sister. My little sister. She's fucking always fucking late. Had mine on 2 ticks since the volatility expanded a year or so ago. I changed it back to 1 tick yesterday because we finally got the VIX underneath of 20, Dr. VJ. But I might just have to wait until like, because the volatility that's going on right now is not necessarily projected off of the, like, it's not agreeing with the VIX. Like with an 18 VIX, we should get kind of less volatility, which we're still inside yesterday's range for the most part. But it just, I don't know, I like it better on the 2 ticks for now until we get, if we get like a small day, a smaller range, and if this day starts to balance, maybe we'll switch back to the 1 tick. I don't know. I'm just not like, yeah, same as Dalton. That's the only reason I did it. My mic is much lower than yesterday, volume wise.
Mike seemed the same for me.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I didn't change anything about
Might
it.
be on their end.
Yeah, I never mess with any of the stuff once it's set up, because then necessarily fuck something up. And like, it's not that I can't, like, be good at like the tech part of the streaming thing. It's just that I don't have any inclination to. If I wanted to be good at it, I would be good at it. But it's just like, I don't I don't want to. Honestly, the voice wouldn't even sound this good. I'd be using my regular headset, but James bought me this microphone. So
They spoofed it up with a bid and it worked.
yeah,
Put a,
yeah.
they
You
put a
wa-
big bid in there.
you wonder if they're just
But
holding them under that 99. Like that's where they're trying to hold it. Looks like this 99.
yeah, maybe they're filling up there.
Mm-hmm. Because you're
Yeah,
finally
they
seeing some volume come in up here. Right there at that
Yeah.
like 94-ish, 95-ish.
They put a big order in around 5.5. The market ran away from it and they just pulled it. See if it comes back down there. If they put a big order in again, or let it come down. I don't trade all that nonsense. I'm just, observing it.
Not me. I've been zapping in and out today.
Oh yeah, no. I mean, like when they throw an order, like I don't jump on it immediately or not. I'm just saying.
Oh yeah. No, but it's good to notice when that happens.
That's all I'm saying. Yeah, I'm not trading every time somebody steps in or sellers. When I say like, oh, sellers came in here, that's something I got short.
Right, yeah. Offer moves down right here to this 96. The bids lift right through it. See if they can get continuation. $260 lots up at the 10. The 4010. It's been sitting there all day. Uh-oh, we're going to 92. This offer's trying to move down to scare the market down here. They're coming off of the 00. Yeah, I think you're right, Dr. VJ. They want that settlement. Yeah, I had a nice long going, and then, I closed it there at that 97.50. I thought we were going to get some continuation, but now I think we might come back to 92 here, so we'll see.
That was a good close though, 97.
I should have closed it at 4,000. But like as soon as because it got some steam as it was going into 4,000, so I moved my take profits up and then fucking came right back down as soon as it hit. And then just
Oh, I see. I see what you're saying. I was looking at the previous high. You were in the previous high.
yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I didn't buy that. I didn't buy that most recent pullback. I didn't think it was going to hold.
Yeah.
And there's that 92. Well, that was pretty easy to see right there. We were pretty much all over that. It's a beautiful day, a a a a. It's a beautiful day. But right here is the time to flatten out. If you took the 92, 93, you could flatten here as like basically this is a flop zone here. But we should get continuation to 4K, I think. So we fucked. Let's go. We just push this thing through already. Ah, fucking worthless. I got my stop at 96.75. I'm gonna just bail there. Did you see that? It literally traded. Look at that. 96.75 literally traded my 3 contracts on that last trade. What the fuck? Like those.
Yours were the only 3 there.
There's only 3 that just traded, and those were mine. What
Fucking
the fuck? You're kidding me. Well, hopefully it continues if any of you guys are long. Motherfucking bitch, bro. That's so annoying.
Where was that? 95.75 you said?
96.75.
96.75.
Oh. Oh.
That's so fucking annoying.
Are the order books a first come, first serve?
They're supposed
Or
to
how
be.
does it?
Yeah.
Okay.
But people are always like moving one tick up, one tick down, one tick up, one tick down. That way they're like if they're trying to stay in a runner, because
Yeah.
they're trying to get to the back of the line. Like even if it does come down there, but it doesn't stay there long enough to get them, they can still stay in the position.
Yeah.
I happen to be first in line apparently, and got
Yeah,
got all 3.
I think there's a way you could put a stop in where only if it trades so many or something.
Yeah, I mean you could if you're fucking.
Yeah, I don't get into it.
I'm not fucking with all that shit. That's like some yeah.
You could get fucked too because it could go through you then,
Exactly.
and you got nothing to complain. You can't say,
I mean, if it was a stop limit, you would just lose a tick every single time you traded like that and it went through.
Yeah,
It'd be great when it came to that level and didn't actually go through, but when it did go through, you'd lose 1250 on every contract every single time. That'd be a fucking pain in the ass.
yeah. It's easier to just put it a tick lower if you figure, you know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah.
Just so you don't have to fool with it.
Yeah. I mean, I can be angry about it, but it's like, what can I do? The worst part is I didn't close any of it like up at this 99. I just kept all 3 on.
Yeah.
But we did. I mean, that was a nailed trade. I didn't get filled. I got filled 93.25, but we nailed that. It's like, oh, this thing's gonna come back down to 92. It did, and then obfuscate back up. Lots of buying up here.
Yeah, that was a nice trade, nice call. I didn't take it, but it was a nice call.
Finally got the one. Now we're starting to see even heavier liquidity stretch back to the 3. Interesting. Making me think like maybe they're kind of scared. So here's what we can think about the 92, right? Fool me once, they got him. Fool me twice, we got him. And this third time of a test of 92 is not, in my opinion, a buy. So just be careful right here. If it comes down back there, especially if we see the VPOC shift, because you're kind of seeing a cliff start to build, or like a shelf, as they call it, on the volume profile analysis community. Right here, see that? So much nicer in the 2-tick. We can see the whole profile. We can see the fucking Globex profile. See it all. I think the 1-tick might kind of be overtrade a little bit. When it's, you know, volatile like this and it's such a small thing, I think the 2-tick has actually helped. So they came off of it a bit. So there's some sellers on the 4,000, but there's some scared sellers on the 4,000 as well that are moving off to the 403 when price gets close. Got to keep watching this shelf right here. That's really the key. It's like 97. What would be really nice is if this thing breaks 92, flushes the 82, stalls, we get the long, and then we come up and close the gap. We hit like a nice 20-point trade in the day, in the week. And then once it gets back up above 4,000 after that long trade, we sell some calls on the SPY, like some premium over the weekend. What earnings are next week? There's an earnings calendar on the Market Watch calendar here. Earnings. Oh, perfect. We've got earnings today. These are before. All of them were before. All the bank earnings were before. So we've got Goldman Sachs next week on Tuesday, and it's MS. I'm not sure. Then we've got Procter Gamble and Netflix on Thursday. Morgan Stanley is MS. The market's starting to try to go. Then nothing, and then we have a bunch of earnings the second to last week. That's when we get Microsoft, Johnson and Johnson, Abbott, Boeing. And then the last week we've got Meta, Google, Amazon, Apple. And that's crazy. So Al, I'm pretty sure speaks on February 1st. And then Apple, Amazon, Google earnings are on February 2nd. Let me double check that just to make sure I'm not giving you guys any. Pretty sure that's the truth. Fed funds. Yeah. Okay. So the next Fed interest rate decision is February 1st. So yeah. So Pal's on February 1st. And then we got big earnings on February 2nd. So that's going to be interesting. Those sellers that were up at 4,003 are gone. Well, not gone, but they've done a lot of their bidding. So what that might have been is a take profit. So you might be like someone who's long taking profit up there, and they might have been being a little bit greedy. We might get a pullback past the 92. We might get our play, guys. We might get our play. Let's stay patient. Yeah, so the next meeting also is pricing in 94%. It actually went down today compared to yesterday because it was 94.7 yesterday, 94.2 today. A quarter basis point rate hike, and the target being less than 4% or less than 5%, 4.9%. Sorry, guys, I'm trying to solve a mystery here. D period opens up. They're above the shelf. Volume's coming in above the shelf here. D period is mechanical high, I would say. Failure to get above 98.5 would basically guarantee the 92 quarter trades. Oh. Because that's where a bunch of buyers just got trapped. Bunch of shorts covered. Oh god, these shorts are fucking weak today. This is a liquidation right here. It's about to be. It's getting like to that point where, a lot of people are getting nervous here. And if it trades, yeah, there it is. Kind of weak that fucking every time these sellers get a chance to get out of a trade, they just fucking buy it up. Starting to see the weighted AD slip a little bit here, and the tick just jumped back below 0. We're below the 50, which we know sometimes is kind of like the reset line. And if it starts to hang on below the 50, there's decent odds we trade back to that VWAP. So, 1 second, guys. All right, back. $94 bid miss. Sorry, 93 added lower. Took scalp out green. Chicken need to keep the runners. It's tough. It's tough on a volatile day, especially a day like this. If you're short, it's really tough to hold on to it because one, no one else is, right? As we've seen at that 92, that 92 would have been another buy, right? I didn't buy it the third time, but it would have been another buy. But just because you've seen the shorts, kind of ditch out. And every time we've seen any downside, it's mostly just liquidation. It's not even like a fat offer just smashing the market down. It's just people are like, you know what, I'm fucking done with this. Like, I bought the TV at 82, it's done me well. 96 is where I'll let it go. And then, but at least now we have some references to trade against, like the 88 half, basically. If the market can't get above 88 half, then it's not going to go up. And a lot of people are probably waiting for that 4,000. So we should get a decent amount of buyers If we get a fourth test of this 92, maybe we get the liquidation that we're looking for to get us into a position that we'd like, a more advantageous position than buying up here in this upper distribution and trying to scalp the upper distribution, which is a fairly tight range of 8 points. Once they finish the move up, whatever it is, I expect to dump back towards the lows. But don't see it. Yeah, I'm kind of in that same boat, Dr. VJ. Yeah, I feel the same way. It was like this morning. It looked weak, but it just wasn't going down. So there was just no, and I even said, like, I've got a feeling that this thing's going to roll over and we might get some opportunity later in the day. But we'll just kind of have to wait and see if that opportunity presents itself. So it looks like that 90.75 is the ticket below. Then I would say like 90. I mean, I said 98, right? So I'll stay with 98. To finish up. Not a lot of people on YouTube today. No chatters. Friday the 13th. Everyone must be scared.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Oh, okay. It's so weird. I can't unmute myself. I have to push down the space bar in order to talk.
The files are in the computer. Whenever you use a computer, that's what I think of. Zoolander. You seen that one, Jared?
Yeah, I know about Blue Steel.
Turn right. Or is it left? Which way did he turn? Left or right?
To his left, I believe. Or I could just not get filled on 96 right there.
Were you looking to short?
Yep.
Yeah.
I ended up shorting 98 to 94.
Nice.
And then I was going to take another one from 96, but it didn't fill me.
Living life on the edge. Yeah, I like those shorts below 98. I just don't like it if it gets above 98. And that's a nice spot, like 96, 97, because you can use that 90. Well, you could pretty much use like that 4,000 as your backstop. Give yourself like a 3 or 4 point stop. And then target the, 92, 94. Hopefully we get this liquidation right here. Oh, I've been waiting for it for a while. Oh, Panera Bread, nice. Oh, some coffee? Sounds good. I might go make a coffee, actually. $90.75 is the liquidation ticket down here. Nasdaq's trying to come back here a little bit, but still just struggling. Like, I mean, it's like we said, all these shorts, they're just, no one wants to hold onto a position. They're just, oh, got a profit, I'm out. So if no one's willing to hold on to some supply, there's not any supply, or no one's willing to provide any supply, then there's not going to be any. And it's going to be really tough for the market to roll over. But we are seeing a little bit move down here on this 93. Kind of like that. And you're seeing the NYSE breadth back to basically even, and so same with the Nasdaq. Here we go. So any bounce that doesn't get significant volume right here, we can fade. Nice. Sellers got stuck on 89.5 right there. Buyers are stuck on 92.50. Selling's still coming in. See if they can push it. There they go. Damn, I don't need to make a cut. A lot of selling on that bottom, on this low tick right here. That there's probably good odds that it keeps going lower. Unless this is just absorption.
What do you think they're targeting?
Hopefully my entry down here at the 82 half. But
Your entry to the upside, is that what you're saying?
yeah. But I don't know. I mean, we have that 200 SMA down here, and remember when we had it in 2 ticks, we had some trap shorts still like right here. So even if it goes all the way down here towards half back, there was still some stuck shorts because we still have that mechanical low. So really until the sellers, I mean, that's a long ways, obviously, because we have a decent sized range. But if any of this selling comes down and doesn't take this B low, I think there's a viable opportunity in there. But if it does take the B low, that really opens the door for the downside. And then in that case, the target would be this gap down at 48.75.
What's the below? 75?
Yeah, 39.76. Yeah. the low mechanical right off the half back here, and if we get something like this that holds, then we'll start to have what they call sequencing. Right, so we've got mechanical, mechanical, doesn't hold, so there it goes, no sequencing. And if there was sequencing, right, that would just kind of be a sign that sellers are weak, if in this case, because we're getting sequencing on more references. And the same thing inversely. But we're pushing through there into these single prints here. And to try to fill them at least. Sellers are I mean, this is just liquidation, honestly. Like, we're getting, this thing's gonna liquidate. Now short covering, there it was. Those motherfuckers, dude. Come on. Don't give up, sellers. Push the price a little bit lower, and then we'll trap you. What's the 87? All the shorts started covering at 87. I don't know. It's just right under half back, I guess. Scared.
IT still slipping lower.
Alright, I closed my short. Fuck that. I'm not doing that shit anymore. Didn't get down to my long target yet, but I just have to not diddle in here. $10 until E period opens up too. Gotta get out of the way of that bullshit. So kind of what we're seeing here, guys, is you're seeing almost what we expected. Not quite as far through. I thought that they were going to bring this down a little bit more and we could get a nicer entry for a long. But you're kind of seeing this absorption here on this half back, right? You see kind of this cliff starting to form. You got 9,000, then only 5,000 below it. We kind of see the same thing up here, 13K, and then only 8,000 above it. So you're about half traded just right on the next tick. And so that's kind of a situation, kind of putting in the boundaries here as far as how these guys want to trade for now. And you know, you're looking at 99 to 86 so far. It does look like, you know, they got some inventory, they moved it up, they distributed it, and then more inventory got captured here, and now they're distributing it a little bit lower. So you know, I wouldn't really call this a half pipe. I'd more call this, well, I guess it is kind of like a half pipe. But if you fall off the back end, you should get some continuation. So now that it's bounced from this area, this 82 necessarily isn't necessarily the best opportunity. I mean, there might be some opportunity comes in, you know, tight stuff where those other sellers were trapped, but you've got to be real careful in here. Just really just focus on the tempo there. If the tempo dies out, you should be good to go. But on either opposite sides of that, we should get some continuation because you can assume there's trapped inventory, right? Because you got a lot of inventory traded on this level. So if we get too far below it, we can assume that buyers start to capitulate. Same thing here, a lot of inventory traded here. So we can assume that sellers start to capitulate if we get above that level.
We don't diddle in the middle.
Right. If you diddle in the middle, that's how you just, you know, that you must be into that fucking sadomasochism shit. You just love punishment.
Can they get above it? Shorts are getting ready to cover.
Yeah, I'm gonna go grab a coffee too, real quick. I'll be right back. Jared, go ahead and explain the market to us while
Yeah, right.
while I'm gone. Yeah, come on,
No,
you can do it.
no, I'm good.
All right, someone step up and fucking explain to us what's going on right now.
Short covering.
short that, Jared?
I did, yes.
Yeah, I had a feeling. I didn't
Where are you
short it.
riding?
I didn't do nothing.
Where are you riding it to, Jared?
I actually took profit on one of them at 93.
You don't think he's going to finish taking the singles?
Mm, on this move, I don't know.
The bar opens in like 30
Eventually.
seconds.
Whoever it is trying to hold it below half, the open, or the half back, I guess I should say. Not the open. I don't think the sellers have a huge amount of power, but I think they're going to try and still take that single.
Sure looks
All
that way.
right. What did we miss? Nothing.
No, we moved at least 2 or 3 ticks in one direction or the other. Dude, that's freaking momentum right there. Wait, no, we fell really far. Oh, wait, what was it? You said, oh, we totally dropped.
Fall off a cliff. That's what Jared
There's
calls it.
freaking 2
Or
ticks.
shit off a cliff. Shit off a cliff.
There you go. Shit the bed.
I do feel like the market is going to shit the bed today, to be honest. But
I think so. I think you're right. I think it will.
like, I think it trades below the open, but we'll see. A break of that D low is going to give us one time framing to the downside. And then you'll look at the half back of the profile for shorts that are still short from above. For the most part, intraday, we've got a little bit of range extension above initial balance, but that's it. There's the excess. So extension past the D low, that 83 quarter, you'll look for a reaction there. And if you're short, that would be your first take profit target. And then the B low naturally would be your second. But remember,
Unless you're in one contract and then fucking shoot for the B low. Just kidding. I was joking.
not financial advice.
This is not financial advice.
Where the fuck is the PO chart? Volume profile. What happened? Put this on one. So. So if we put this on 1, we can just go ahead and mark this little area because it's like a hidden little single print area within the first, like the initial auction during A period.
Ten seconds till next 5 minutes.
But then again, so if D low doesn't break, remember, like we said, you're in. We talked about this 97-ish to what's this 87-ish, like where the cliffs are at, basically the edges. So we kind of expect follow through on either side, but if we don't get follow through, you do have an opportunity to play with your bias, right? So if your bias is long, you can look to long with short risk up here. And the same thing on the short. If you're a short bias, it's a more advantageous short than just getting short somewhere here in the middle to get short up near the top of this than to just try to get short right at the low, expecting it to break. What was your entry? What entry? Or was that for somebody else?
I think he's talking to Jared.
Oh,
Oh,
Jared
was he talking
I
to
think-
me or?
I think so. He was
Talking to
because Jared
me?
was
Oh,
Jared was in a short.
I got short at 96 quarter. I got filled like on the tick basically. But then I took profit, so I'm out.
I'm still holding. I want to see if he'll take the D-low.
where'd you get short from?
Well, I got short earlier and got stopped out on
And
my initial one, and then
I knew it. I knew it. I was gonna text you and everything. Okay, but anyways, sorry. I knew that you were short. I was like, because you weren't talking, so I figured you're on a meeting or something. But like while the A auction was
well,
going
I
on,
haven't been short. I've only been short for a little bit. It's not like it's been a long time, but
like early in the
anyway.
morning though.
No. I
Oh
was in a
no.
meeting.
Oh. Oh. Okay.
No. I haven't. No, I have not been short for very long.
Oh.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry.
No worries. Anyway, the initial one I got in at 92, and I had all 4 accounts in. 3 of them got stopped out. The 4th one, I actually moved my stop up so that it wouldn't stop it out. And then I went back in and set the other ones up, and the other ones are in at. So I'm at 92 or 91 3/4. The other one's in at 96 quarter, 96, 95 half, and then 96 half. Because of course, when you're doing 4 accounts, it's kind of a bitch to go in and do them all at once.
Yeah.
But my initial plan was to just have it go to the 85 quarter. Because that was the D, that would basically be where the bottom would be. And I wasn't 100% certain it would reach there, but whatever. But now that 3 of them are in profit, even only by like a half point or whatever it is that I have it set to. Yeah, I have them set to a half point. I guess on that first one at 96 quarter, I should probably just move it to 94 half. There's my stop for that one. This one, I'll move you to 94 half. So that these ones will all be at least reasonably in profit. And then that first one, I mean, it's just barely. I mean, I've got 2.5 points and I could close it out, but I kind of just want to see where it goes. It's about a point in the stop is a point above entry. 92.7, 92 3/4. There was a major push on the counts to the downside, which is why I initially started to get in. I have to show you that when later today when we chat, I'm going to show you that thing. I mean, it's actually very, very helpful. It gives you decent. I mean, this honestly, the reason why I did the trades that I did yesterday. Well, not the first one, because that one didn't do well, but the second one, the reason why I got in, even though it wasn't necessarily moving, and what was it on Monday or Tuesday? Where I actually took like a 7-point trade and we were only getting like 2 or 3 points for the most part of the day. And I was like, okay, I'm looking at something. And I freaking went for the 7 points to the upside. That one was because of this thing,
Oh,
because
okay.
I was looking at these counts, and it kind of, I mean, obviously it's not perfect and I'm still refining it, but it just sort of gave a vision, I gave a picture of what it was doing, and which is why I was willing to try and take those full 7 points rather than just taking it at 2 or 3 and calling it even. This one's kind of giving me mixed signals, so I might bail. But I'm already up like 6 points in most of them. Oh, there we go. Come on, baby. You know you want to take the B low. Or D low, sorry.
Or both.
Well, if it'll take B low, that would be awesome, but I don't know if I'm buying that it'll take it. I'll move my stop. Oh, I guess I can move this one. This stop can move to 90 now. I'll put it at 90.50, just in case it comes up just a hair. Okay, so 90.50. Actually, I'll move these ones to 92 because I got a lot more breathing room. 92 would still do me good. That 90.50 is a little tight. Okay, I want to move it to half point above, so that would be a quarter, so 91.25. Come on, counts. Show me what you got.
Selling is just dying at this low here.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's dying. Like until it can break, it's just like, I mean, there's 6 contracts traded on the E low, and there's 3 contracts traded on the D low. I mean, they've got to get it below this level and hold it below. Even a check below and bounce above. So we're looking at this 86, 87 level, right? So if it goes below and gets above, I would say that's a buy. Because that would just be a cleanup of inventory and then up into the upper distribution. Does that make sense? Like, so we have
Yeah,
a
it's just
distribution
so-
down here. We have a distribution up here. This would be like a look below. If it gets back above, this would be half back the 87. You know, what a shock today. Very mechanically traded market. But you know, any failure to break D low is a upside, and if it does break D low but comes back above 88, 87, that's an upside trade, I think, as well.
Okay, I'm gonna put my profits.
Tech is getting really weak here, though.
Oh, no, you're good, because that actually tells me
Morning,
the trend
Patrick.
might move back to 76.25. I'll just chance it. Well, I got 4.5 points in most of these, even if it stops me out. That one's 3.5 points. 4.5, 4.25 points. So I'll take it. At least it's an up. I'm not in the negative, even if it backticks me right now on any of them. What are my counts doing? -1, -3, -1. Yeah, I'm gonna let it ride. I'm gonna let this ride for a little bit. Worst that'll happen is I'll only get, you know, average of what, 3 points? Boo-hoo.
Pick trying to climb up here. You're starting to see it, the first green in a while on the weighted AD. See if it has any legs, though.
Got to get above that 92.
I moved all my stops to
He keeps
92.
getting there and failing, so we'll see.
I moved all my stops to 92. I'm hoping that. Although if it backticks me, that's kind of lame. Not ideal.
Jared, earlier before you got on,
Mm-hmm.
I literally was the only 3 lots filled on this level to take me out of a trade, and then go up without me.
Oh,
So pissed. I was like, oh my god, you're fucking kidding with me.
Okay, what do we got? -1. This one's potentially gonna get back to. It's struggling. Come on, baby. You could take the D low. I'm all about the sweet talk.
It helps.
sometimes you gotta finesse them.
Yeah, sometimes you gotta tell them, like, hey, listen, this is what has to happen right now.
Look, you little bitch.
Whoa,
He's like, dude, you crossed the line. What were you doing there?
too far, bro. Too
Did I say
far.
Omaha? Omaha.
All right, if this takes it and pops back up, I'm moving my
Lucky you.
stop. Okay, so we filled all of that. We got to what was that? What is the bottom of that? Oh, we got to 50, 85 quarter, so we would have hit my stop or my take profit, my initial one.
Right to the VWAP here at the ES, on the ES. Apple's coming down pretty good here. It's
Yeah, I
below
think
its
I'm gonna hold.
VWAP. Microsoft's
gonna
below
wait.
the VWAP. XLK is
Insane.
below the VWAP.
AMD's freaking dumping.
Financials
Hard
held
down.
up. We sold those financials at the perfect fucking time this morning.
IT just flipped red.
Nice.
Okay, come on. Next candle in 3 minutes. Well, for me, 5-minute candles. Sorry. Not to confuse anyone. My lowest number is 6.5 points. That one's 11, 10, 10 and a quarter. Come on. All right, I'm gonna move. No, I gotta wait. I gotta wait till the next candle. Okay.
Nasdaq's catching a little bull. There's a lot of trades that came through on that 85 right there. And they all traded on the bid. Just be careful right here, like we said. Like, if it gets back above this 88, you're gonna probably get some scared shorts, and they're gonna fucking run for the hills. So, my food's here. I'll be right back.
I'm going to take this. So 85 half. No, 85 quarter. All right, I'm moving one of them to 85 quarter. We'll see what happens. No, I'm just gonna move my stop up. I'll deal with it. I'll deal with the loss if I take it. counts. It's hard to tell if this thing is rolling over or if it's just
Yeah, it's hard to tell
getting
here.
bored. Because nothing's really like, I mean, look at the tick, 176. The weighted A, well, the weighted AD is up, so that should definitely be a sign for. My counts are showing negative, but not necessarily strongly. All right, this is the last attempt. If it doesn't take it, I'm gonna put it at 85 quarter, and if it doesn't take it, then I'll just stop it out if it goes back to. Counts are definitely, so that's a 0. It's making lower highs, that's for sure. But is it trying to make lower lows? Come on.
It's making lower lows in 30-minute chart.
It stopped me out at 92. Damn, look at that happen. Look at that go. What was that?
It's a lot of selling that just came through the tape right there from like 89 quarter to 90 quarter. It's not like a full point. Short covering.
But it was selling.
Yeah, just because it comes through as selling doesn't necessarily mean what it is. You know? These guys have all
Yep.
kinds of secret ways to hide orders and stuff, so. What I
I'm closing
do
that one out.
mostly is just like when stuff like that comes through, like with like a bunch of big trades or fast trades, what does the market do right after that? And right now, the market jumped up. So.
Yep. I'm closing these out. I'll take my 5.5 points.
Yeah, it's been doing that all day.
Yeah, there it is again.
Oh, I'm gonna wait.
This time it went down.
I'm gonna wait. Yeah, that was fun.
Well, I'm only out of
Well,
one
there's
of them.
good
That's
odds it trades below 85 because of how like there's 747 lots on that low. Like that doesn't happen that doesn't stay very often, at least in my opinion. Not that I've seen.
That's the good part about playing the 4 different separately, is that I could go back and forth and move things around, and it's kind of like law of averages. I'm up in the account that I got out of anyway. I had a bad trade earlier, that maybe 2 bad trades actually, where I lost my 3 points. You should have texted me and see if I was sure. I wasn't even playing earlier though.
Yeah, I just had a feeling like I was like, oh, I bet you my uncle's probably in a meeting and he's probably like, oh, this thing looks like it's gonna go down. I'm just gonna get short.
I would have died laughing. That would have been so funny. All right, I'm sick of this shit. I'm taking 7.5 points in that one. A 6.25. Oh, wait, what did I just do? 6 points in that one.
Point of control moved down to the halfback of yesterday.
Oh, the one that I'm in is the one that I'm still negative in, so maybe I'll just hold up for a little bit. If it stops me out at 92, it stops me out at 92. Counts are negative, but not necessarily strongly.
40, 15.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if this thing's gonna do what I want.
I know. I
Alright.
was looking for a flush myself.
Fuck you. I'm gonna just see if I can get, how many points would that be? 7.25. 7.75. We'll see if it picks. We'll see if it pops my number.
You really shouldn't
If
be
it doesn't,
reevaluating your trade so much. You know, you put on your
well,
trade, you're
part of
looking
it is
for it to go.
part of it is I'm afraid. Well, because here's the thing, I do think it will reach the 76 quarter. What I don't want to do is miss out, because this is the thing that I have done when, and you and I had this conversation also, is that I kept not getting out when I saw it going the other direction, and it just wasn't advantageous for me.
Hmm.
Although I guess I have my stop there. Maybe
It's just
I'm just gonna.
as long as you're comfortable with your entry.
My entry's good. Six quarters or 96 quarter.
Yeah, that's a good
I
entry.
think that's a decent entry.
Yeah, you should just put your stop at like
It's at
98.
92 now.
Oh,
No, I have my stop at 92. Because I don't want to lose what profit I have.
yeah.
And it doesn't, because here's the thing, if you look at the trending, at least on the 5-minute candle, it's been trending down, and I am currently one tick above that last 5-minute candle, which I guess means I probably should move my stop up if I really am trying to take the 76 quarter.
Where'd you say your stop was at? 91
92.
or 92? That's a little thin spot
Yeah,
right there.
I mean, that last run up came up 91.75, and freaking almost popped them all. But then it immediately dropped back down, and so then it's hard to be able to, and part of the problem is I'm bouncing between the 4 counts, and so I don't want to just like,
All right,
okay,
it's
here we
going
go.
this time. If
Yeah.
you saw that right there, so remember the VPOC was right on halfback. It popped up. Selling came in on the 90. So, I mean, notice this again. If they really can't get this thing going past the 85 at least, you've got 747 sellers that are stuck right there. And it looked like right there they tried to get the gas, and they're trying it again here. If they can't get down there, pathetic.
Mm-hmm.
Tech's trying to roll over here as well. XLK's right back to the open. Apple's holding its VWAP. Microsoft looks like shit naturally because it just always looks like shit. I fucking hate Microsoft.
Go to 75.
Like, why is there so many goddamn updates for the computer every single fucking day? Like, what's going on with this thing?
But
You
yeah,
wanna know-
Activision can't get their shit together.
Yeah.
You want to know you want to know the honest truth? It's because there are always people figuring out new ways to hack one thing or another.
Well, I guess that makes sense. So, I'm not mad at that, but I just want to hear footsteps in Call of Duty. That's it. That's all I want.
Exactly.
And Microsoft, that's who runs that shit. So, don't they own Activision? Or aren't they in the
Yeah.
process of buying Activision or
They're in
something?
the process. Well, if the
Yeah.
DOJ lets them, or I'm sorry, SEC lets them, because they're claiming monopoly or something like that. Some shit.
Yeah, because Apple doesn't have anything like that. And everybody hates Apple because they're always dicks about what gets into the App Store.
Mm-hmm.
I remember when I was a kid and my friends had iPhones, like the iPhone 1 and 2, like, I was always like, you pay for apps? Fucking idiot. And now it's like, you don't have an iPhone?
Yeah, I
Idiot.
know.
Idiot.
You broke ass.
You don't have an iPhone? Uncle Stacy?
I'm sorry. Oh no, I have an iPhone.
I was gonna say, because I know you got the MacBook.
No, I have an iPhone. And not to say that I'm complete an Apple xenophile,
Elitist.
but Macs just, I'll say this. I was a hardcore, like hardcore. Like I had, and I don't know if you guys know about this, but I had a domain controller running at the house with roaming profiles. So when the kids would log into a computer, you know how you have your desktop set up a certain way and you have different things set up.
Yeah.
Like it would follow them when they would log into a computer. It would show them their login, like their desktop. It had all their files on it. It was all set up for them.
That's pretty sick.
But over time, I mean, obviously the kids grew up and moved out, so whatever. But over time, I had a boss who asked me, he said, do you want a Mac? Because I got a new job. Do you want a Mac or a PC? And I said, I've heard that this buddy of mine kept telling me, get a Mac, get a Mac, get a Mac. And so I finally just said, F it, I'm going to get a Mac. And I got one. And I started using it. And I mean, for what I do, for programming and because I do a lot of adminning of servers, and so I do a lot of command line stuff. And on a PC, it's just a bitch. I mean, it's just painful. And on a Mac, I mean, I could do it all day long. It's nice. It's easy. It's just a way better platform for that kind of thing. I can do stuff on a Mac that I could never have done on a PC. It's not for gaming, but it is very good for what I do, for what I use it for.
Yeah, see, and I need the computer to be a gaming computer.
Mm.
Serious about that shit.
You know what's
Take what you
funny?
better
In like probably not even 10 years or who knows how long, we'll be laughing at remember them stupid iPhones we used to carry around? It happens to everything. You know what I mean? Like when we had them shit the first
Yeah,
phones, they
once
thought
you-
they were great.
Once you get the Neuralink, that's
Yeah,
when
I was gonna
it'll-
say that Neuralink is the next step in that.
you won't
Yeah,
need, you won't
that's
need your
fine.
phone because you'll just be able to think about right answers and you'll know them.
Well, do you
Like
remember?
10
What, you remember?
I need to
I
know how to
just
fly an
read
Apache
something the other
helicopter.
day.
You
I
remember
just read
Google
something the other
Glasses?
day that Apple's getting ready to get rid of their iPhone.
Stop me out, son of a bitch.
Yeah, pretty much. It happens with everything in technology. I mean, you think it's great when you have it, and then doesn't even take that long. You're like, man, remember them stupid things, but they were great at the time.
Well,
It
how
was a new candle.
how many are you
Son of a
gonna
bitch.
how many are you gonna go through? Are we gonna get to? They've got to come out with something different. They're not gonna call it the iPhone anymore.
Yeah.
They'll call it something else.
Yeah.
They're not gonna get rid of the iPhone. It's like one of their fucking number one selling things. So they're gonna replace it with something. There's just
They're
no.
gonna
There's
replace it with the fuck everyone else phone. Like, I'm cool, look at me. Screw you. That's a lot of people with Apple are like, I have the coolest thing ever.
well, it's gonna be something like the new Samsung.
Fanboy. That's the term, fanboy.
I told my son that he was talking about Christmas tree when he gets older in his house. I said, you'll probably have a hologram. You'll probably just push a button and a fucking Christmas tree will appear. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you know how
You
sick
don't
that
even
would
have to
be.
put one up.
Don't even have to put.
Yeah.
Don't even have to put fucking Christmas decorations. Just press the Christmas button.
Yeah.
Boom.
Oh, damn, I would love that.
Be so
And you don't
dope.
have to carry your shit up in the attic. And everything.
Exactly. That's exactly what I'm thinking.
Someone's gonna be selling clip art of Christmas decorations. Oh, honey, I need to spend $30,000 on these new Christmas decorations.
Yeah.
All right, honey.
That's
whatever.
all those NFTs. That's what NFTs are.
Oh, there you go.
Then-
I'm all out. It stopped me out in profit on that one. So I will take my 5 points and go home. I guess that was 4 points. Yeah, it's not showing as hard to the downside now.
Oh, I mean,
So now I need to get in the other direction.
oh no, now it's too late to get in the other direction.
I'm just going with you.
Yeah, the entry was 87.
Yeah, I'll get right on that.
Yeah, I mean, eventually, once time travel becomes a thing, the stock market will cease to exist, I imagine, because then people will just be manipulating it, and you'd get into some fucking whatever that show's called. What's that show called, Jared?
What?
Oh,
Peripheral.
peripheral shit. Yeah.
Has anyone seen Travelers?
Mm-mm.
The show on Netflix?
I don't think
It's kind
so.
of kind of a twisted. It was pretty trippy. Like these people, so they'd come back in time And what they, because so what it is that, society progressed on, blah, blah, blah. And eventually there's a computer that's trying to kill people, or there's something like that. Anyway, I don't remember. Or maybe they've ruined society. And so they are going back in time to either kill people that do bad things, or I'm trying to remember exactly. It's been a long time since I've seen it. But anyway, but they basically infest the bodies of somebody who's dying, is essentially what it is. So somebody who's going, that they know, or they have a time and a place for where they died, they basically shoot their spirit into that body, their soul into that body, and then they become that person. And so they have to know about that. Like they have to study who that person was so that nobody thinks that they're different. It's pretty trippy.
All right, I'm gonna call it. I think it's shit off a cliff time.
He called
Where'd
it,
you get in?
ladies and
90
gentlemen.
You got in at 96, you said?
Oh, I got out of that short already. I was just in
Bye,
right
bye.
there at the 93.50.
Oh, you got in again?
Yeah,
You're a bold motherfucker.
I'm calling it.
Now this thing is gonna fucking tank all the way down to 76. You watch. Bastards. I'm gonna call those freaking sellers and give them a piece of my mind.
Do it.
I'm just gonna open up a Twitter account. Fuck you, sellers.
You could open up Twitter account and just put $ES orders. Fuck you.
I think I
You did?
I think I was on with Steve, and I created a couple of Twitter accounts. I think one of them is ES short and ES long or something like that.
Well,
And
did
so
you know that fucking Elon's thinking about selling Twitter account names? People, inactive Twitter users, domain names.
he'd make a lot of money.
Yeah.
I'll buy NFL.
Yeah, someone will buy like, yeah, exactly.
I'll change my name to Nestor fucking, I don't know, whatever.
Jared, I
And then
hope you
it'll be
closed on
NFL,
that
and I'll
90, because that's all you get.
I
3 points.
closed a while ago.
Well, I hope Jared closed on the 90. Because if not, he's buying me lunch again today.
That's all you get.
The first trade, so last night I was screwing around and I was just like playing with the sim, and I put it in the ES. That was the instrument that I set it to, and I forgot. And I
Here
went
it
to
comes.
bed.
Big
I woke up
burst of volume.
I woke up this morning, I come in, I'm talking to Lincoln, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I see a trade, blah blah blah," and I was like, "Oh, I'll take that trade," and I freaking just like, bam, switched to an eval, clicked on the account, and put in a contract. And I'm looking on the left because, of course, that's where the chart is, and it should show the line, the bars, the flags, sorry, the flags of the entry, and it would show the stop and the take profit. And I'm like, they're not showing up, and I was like, what happened? And I look over on the right to my DOM, and it's freaking ES, and I'm like, what the like, all of a sudden now I'm seeing my numbers go, and it's jumping by like $20 every single time it moves. I was like, oh man. I was freaking out for a second there, and then I ended up closing it at 3/4 of a point up.
Welcome to my world. Not the freaking out part. 1250 per
Well,
tick.
and here's the thing, if I was playing ES all day long, it would be a big deal. But I mean, for me,
See
if
you
I
later,
lose 3
Brad.
points, it's like $15. But if I lose it in the ES, that's a lot more.
Oh
I
yeah.
don't know exactly.
Yeah.
It's like $300.
6 points, yeah, $300.
Oh, 50. Okay, yeah, so it would be $150. $150 versus $15. And so it's like, it was very stressful for a few minutes before, while I was waiting for it to get to the point where I
Yeah.
could just hit close.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, there's no reason as you're learning to not utilize the MES to slowly build up into those positions. That's why I say you should have at least an account of $5,000 to be trading the ES, especially on volatile days. I mean, this day's kind of died down, but how it started, and then yesterday as well. Yesterday was chaos no matter what your account size was. But you know, as you're slowly building up, you want to give yourself a little breathing room. Because if not, you're just gonna you're gonna be chasing your tail all the time.
if you're, you know, taking one lot losses that are only 3 points compared to get that $150 on the MES, you'd have to be wrong by like what? You know, fuck.
150 bucks.
But
That's $5 a
10
point.
points would be 50. So 50, 100. So you'd have to be wrong by 30 points.
Yeah, that's
Yeah. So
It's
you know what I mean? Like
10
you,
points.
yeah, you can give yourself room to breathe if you learn how the market moves with the MES, and then you slowly start adding a little bit of size, trade 2 MES lots, then 3, and then once you get over 4, well, once you get over like 5 or 6, then I'd start trying the ES, but you know, it depends on what your account size is. Just because you move up in lots traded doesn't necessarily mean you've built the account up. Anybody can trade size. They provide, you know, $500 margin on a lot of accounts, and then especially those funded accounts, you can, I mean, the leverage on those is insanity.
Hope you took your profit, Brad.
Do you? I hope you fucking close your short. 'Cause I'm taking this thing up to 95, Jared.
We're getting into that slow time of day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I gotta go
Accounts are
swoop
kinda
the kids up soon.
dropping off.
Out early today.
I had to play AMD all on my own because my bot didn't play today. Although I am so pissed because I had to go deal with this guy about a generator installing. And so I couldn't, like, it was at right at the top, and I was trying to get those last, because I wanted to get 8 more shares or 8 more options. And I set it to 9 cents, and it probably only got to like 11. But if I would have picked him up, I mean, I got out at, I mean, I had 8 contracts. And I mean, it was decent. It wasn't, I mean, I just made 40 bucks away. It's not like I'm making thousands of dollars or anything, but it was like, if I had had those additional 8 contracts, it would have, my entry would have been 29 cents as opposed to 47. So basically 30 cents to 52 cents, which is where I got out. What is that? 30 to 52. So that's 22 cents. 22 times 16, it would have been hundreds of dollars versus 40.
And that'll come over time.
Well, the bot will make it. The bot, I mean, the bot made 500. That was the reason why I wasn't worried, is because I was like, well, the bot made me 250 bucks yesterday.
Yeah.
So that's basically free money. So that was why when I got in and it started to go negative, and I'm like, I mean, I got in at like 72 cents, I think, initially, and it went all the way down to freaking 11 cents. But I was only in like, I don't know, 250 and or 238, 268, something like that. Anyway, and so I was just like, well, I made 250. So even if I lose it today, the bot will make it up eventually another day anyway. So I'm just like, fuck it. I'm going to just let it play and see what happens and see if I can actually get this to a positive number. Because I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that it could have just gone all the way up and I would have just lost the whole entire amount. But I was just like, if the chances of it only going up, and I'm looking at the numbers and seeing a little bit of inklings that it was basically going to do and I because I couldn't listen. This is the part that pisses me off, is I have these stupid meetings and I can't listen to you talk to like sort of say, yeah, well, this is what's going on. This is, and I see you drawing lines and I'm like, fuck, I can't even what you say. So I had to like, but I was like looking at the information and I was like, it feels like it's going to kind of roll over. I don't know if it's going to go all the way down, but I need to buy something up higher. And I bought it. I bought another 4 at 22 cents, and then it was continuing up. And then I was just going to buy more at the top. I mean, 8 cents for, I got them in at 9. So it would have been what, 72 bucks. But I was just like, sure, why not? Let's just roll with it and see what happens. But when it didn't buy, I just had to, I mean, it did, it actually did what my data was telling me, is that it's going to get up, it's going to hit, and then it's going to roll over. I will admit, AMD came down almost to the low of the day, which was a little bit surprising. I didn't expect it to get that far. I figured I would just get close to break even and I would have just closed it out. But it was, it worked out.
Thanks, Jared.
You're welcome.
Lunch is free again.
What did I? Was there like a drinking game thing that I said?
No,
Oh, because he bought. I see.
he sold, and I said I'm taking this thing up to 95, and
I
he's
got
like,
stopped out at 93.50.
You freaking nailed it. I swear to high heaven, dude. When you throw out numbers, it's interesting how often they are right. I mean, it may pass up that number, but it's usually within that range.
but most of the time I'm just calling the numbers that I'm trading.
Well, yesterday, Lincoln is on. So yesterday, I don't know if you saw it, but he sent a message where he said something about I think I'm going to take I want to take a long from here, and I'm looking at my data, I'm looking at what's coming through in my accounts, and I'm like, I don't know, things seem to be tapering off here, and I said I feel like we're going to be heading back down to 95. And he said, all right. He said, yeah, I'll just take it in sim. So he ended up taking it, and he ended up doing okay with it because he caught it up a little bit, and then he ended up getting out. But it did, and then it went back down. It hit 93, I think. And then I said something after that. I was something like, oh, I think this thing is going to close about 02.5.
Oh, I remember. Yeah, I saw that message.
And I was like, and it freaking did. It
Closed
closed
at 3.
02. Oh no, 0275 is where.
Oh,
Well,
75, yeah.
You're probably looking at the
Yeah.
looking at the ES, and the MES it closed at 0275,
Mm.
and it was fucking right on. I was just like, damn.
No, you know
And
what?
the reason why
Oh, good. Sorry.
the reason why I picked that number was because that was the basis of the trade that I did earlier the day of where I was thinking, and it literally got one tick, 1/4 of a point past where it took me out, and then came back down. It ended up going up past it, but that was the reason why I picked it. And I don't remember what I was looking at that gave me that number, but that was the reason why I said I think that's where the market's going to close. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I remember seeing that text, and then when I got back home from getting the kids, I saw the market closed right at that. Basically, I mean, you said 250, I saw it 3. That's pretty much the same to me.
Same. That's the same. Yeah, it is the same.
And I was like, damn, that was good.
Well, I think one of the things I'm finding is that the more that I stare at this thing and just watch these things move, part of it is not necessarily having to believe all the data, but being able to just sort of make it all one thing in order to decide what you think it's going to do, versus looking at them individually, going, oh, the tick is here, I'm going to do this, or the weighted IUD is here, I'm going to do this. You kind of have to because nothing is going to tell you exactly what's happening.
Right, and there's very few days where shorts and longs don't both work at some rate, right? Because trending days are only 20% of the market, and that's the only day where you don't want to be going against the market. I mean, I mean, you never want to be going against the market, but on a trend day, you really don't want to be going against the market.
It's just too hard to call when to get out. Because if you get in, I mean, there's times where there's pullbacks, but like if you're short in a long trend or an uptrend, you're potentially not. You're going to have many losers along the way because you don't know where the actual pullback is going to stop.
Right, and you could get punished.
I'm just going to say that comes from experience, not necessarily based on what you're saying, because I've done that where I've tried to go, oh, it's going to reverse, and I buy something and thinking it's the top to try and get it to go down. No, and then I fucking end up with 32 contracts at the end of the day, and it's on a fucking spike. Not that I'm saying I've ever done that. Not that I'm saying that I've ever done that. Or there was one time when I think I had 150. I mean, mind you, the majority of these contracts were bought for less than 15 cents or something, but I ended up with like 150 contracts at the end of the day. And I think it came back. I think my last buy was at like, I don't know, let's say 4 cents. And let's say it came back to 8 cents. But of course, my entry after all of the freaking averaging in was like 16 cents. So I still lost half my money. And it barely came back down. But it was, I mean, I was going against the trend. It was a stupid idea, and I didn't know why I did it because I believed.
Normally in options, if you're paying less than less than $25 for a contract, it's probably not worth shit anyways, and that's why someone's selling it for so cheap.
True. That is very true. Fridays, although I will admit, in AMD on Fridays.
Well, DTE zeros, yeah.
It is, because it's like today, the bot would have gotten in. So the bot actually would have bought, the new model would have bought at 79 cents, but it only has I think a 20% leeway before it bails. And so it got in at 946 and actually would have gotten out at 10:01 because it was like, oh, I'm underwater, sell. I evidently am not as smart as the bot because the bot knew to get out. I had to hold on and pray that it would actually come back down.
You're in the headlock right now. Say uncle.
Say uncle.
I can only imagine the damage that you and your brother caused as kids, like two fucking overgrown fucking kids like you guys were. Probably just
Oh yeah.
busting into walls and shit.
Oh dude, my parents had to remodel our house like 3 times growing up. Me and my brother would like literally throw each other through the walls.
It's like stepbrothers. You're gonna
Yeah.
get in there and fix that fucking sheetrock now.
Oh, he goes, you will fix the fucking drywall now.
I have a sneaky suspicion like 40.15 is where we're gonna sell those calls. Once we get up to 40.15, we can sell those calls. I don't know if we'll get above this previous day's high today.
Did you actually bought options in the ES?
I sold options yesterday.
Oh,
Closed them this morning. And then I'm gonna sell some more later.
at 40.15.
Yeah. Yeah, at like 450 or 350. Right, like
Oh, wait.
if the market gets up high.
What expiration did you sell?
Today's expiration.
So you bought them yesterday and you sold.
I sold them yesterday
Or
and
sold
then
them yesterday, bought them back today.
bought them back this morning. I bought them back before the market opened because futures options you can trade at any time.
Oh, that's cool. I like that.
Yeah, and I didn't think the market was going to go down because the options I sold actually made money pretty quick. I thought I was going to have to hold them all the way till the end of today. But because the market opened so low, I was able to get out of them, so I just got out of them. I got out of a lot of options today. I got out of my Amazons, I got out of my Wells Fargos, got out of my ES. I'm about to close my fucking, what's it called here? What's this last one? I don't know. I'm gonna carry Chevron. I'm gonna ride Chevron out, I think. I'm completely, I got filled in Amazon. Only thing I have are Chevron. I sold Chevron 195 calls. No, I sold Chevron 185 calls and bought 195 calls to the credit spread. And then I have those Party City calls that were 12 cents that I bought just in case. In case Party City goes on rampage.
Well, freaking, it's in the name, dude.
All right. Remember what we talked about, the cliff up here, this 88, 89 level, or 98, 99 level, excuse me. And you're getting sellers stuck on the 95 right here. All those traps. So basically what happened here is we can kind of see it if we break this bar open, I bet. Let's do this. Flip profile from here, and we can. Okay, so I moved it down. This is where Jared got short. I was already long for me, right? 87.
Took a 2-point loss, Dick.
People don't forget. But so what happened was they just gathered inventory and then moved it up and then distributed it up here. So really there's no change here. This wasn't necessarily, basically what I'm saying, this wasn't necessarily a good amount of buyers. It was more or less just a short squeeze. So now that we have noticed that this 94 right here where the weak spot's at, if they back and fill it and price gets it back up
probably 96, area 97. That's going to be a longable target to target yesterday's settle. If they don't back and fill it and they trade below it, that'll just let you know that it was just a short squeeze, in fact, and there wasn't any more buying up here, and we're going to continue, back into value, which is down here at 90, where the point of control is at. F open. And then really, I mean, like I said, that 85 is just such a weak level. I just don't think it's going to hold. It just seemed like that's where all the shorts got trapped, and this move up was just a small short squeeze. And then look, we held the 98 there, and we talked about this cliff. The cliff's kind of moving down a little bit slowly and slowly, but you can see 22K, 16K, 10K. I mean, but if we get above, I think that we're going to 15. So we can keep this separated just so we can kind of monitor it a little bit easier. But I mean, we really could just use this profile on the side, so never mind. Let's use this profile here. This gives us the last 30 minutes anyways. Well, I like it. Yeah, I'm gonna have to take off soon because I gotta go get Curtis. He gets out early today. Both the kids get out early today. Fire stepping up right there. Pretty aggressively at this 98.
anything. Past 5 minutes we spent. Here we go though. About 30 seconds until we get the next period, next TPO. VIX is getting smacked. Dollar's coming down, but just kind of hanging. As the ES is approaching its high, though, its high was,
Dude, I thought my stuff was frozen right now. I was like, what?
oh yeah, it's just not doing anything. But the Nasdaq's still a couple ticks off the high here, so it'll be interesting to see if the Nasdaq's gonna get on board or not. There's G period. So F period right to D high, very mechanical high, same as D high, that was right to the B high. Very mechanical. See if we can try to convince a couple more shorts to get short here. Oh, they're hammering it. Sellers are stuck right there on 95. Get back to it, see if they got it. All right, guys, I gotta go get the kids. Pleasure trading with you guys this week, this day. Remember, as the day progresses, it is a Friday. We don't want to be giving everything back that we've, worked so hard to get this week. So don't try to force anything today. Just take what the market gives you. Remember the cliff that we talked about? So any breakout above this level could really cause some movement up. Whereas the low side, you're starting to see sequencing here. E is mechanical right off that A high. We've got the F off the E half back, G off the F half back. So we're starting to build some mechanical references. If we do get a break, right, and a nice opportunity here would be if we don't get a cessation of one time framing, which would be a take of the FI, there's a fade to target all of these mechanical references. But if we do get that break, don't get in front of that train, especially because most of the market is saying that the upside is the right side today. But other than that, you guys have a wonderful day. Make sure that you are managing risk and sticking to your trade plan, and I will see you guys on Tuesday because the market's closed on Monday.